Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here at Navarro Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is day 55 of 75 for Edi Essesse here in the Realm Reborn, and yesterday we had the opportunity to continue helping out the brothers and sisters of the Church of Saint Adama Landama over in Eastern Thanlin, and we also were here at Vesper Bay to transport the dead bodies of the fallen scions of the Seventh Dawn so that they could be buried over at Saint Adama Landama. And part of that quest will be still part of the main quest, but the next part of that main quest will involve us having to go back over to Gridania. So, since the Lancers Guild is of course in Gridania, and Lancer being my warrior class, I've decided that I'm going to wait until another day to go back over to Gridania, because it'll make more sense for me to take care of both the next part of the main quest, as well as the Lancers Guild's level 30 and final challenge that they would have available. So, today, I'm going to make it a point to take on a brand new side dungeon. Over here, you might remember Nedrick Ironheart, who gave us the opportunity to go to Halatali, which is a side quest, a side dungeon that you can unlock, and you can only get there once you reach experience level 20. But since we've gotten to at least experience level 35, he now has a new side dungeon for us that we can go and take on. So, let's go ahead and speak with him. He has a level 35 challenge entitled Braving New Depths. Nedrick has a tantalizing bit of information to share with an adventurer. Hail, adventurer! You are the expression of one who seeks new battlegrounds to hone your burgeoning skills. Do not ask how Nedrick knows, he simply knows. Now tell me, are you perchance familiar with the sunken Temple of Karn? I will not hold it against you if you are not. The ruins only surfaced when the calamities split the ground asunder after all. Any road, it's a popular destination these days for adventurers looking for new frontiers to explore. If you are keen to join them, why not make the journey to southern Thalon and visit the temple for yourself? What with the many dangers that lurk within, the immortal flames are keeping close watch over the place. But a Lalafell by the name of Babimu should be able to offer you passage. And so, we can now go over to the Sunken Temple of Karn, so we are now going to warp back to Little Alamigo, because that is the closest place where the Sunken Temple of Karn is located. So, let's go over there right now and make this journey. So, yeah, it makes sense for me to continue on with the main story because it has to continue in Gridania another time. And because, as I mentioned before, I can just as easily at the same time take on the Lancers Guild's final challenge while I'm there. So it saves me a bit of guild, saves me a bit of time, that sort of thing. So yeah, back in Little Alamigo now. So let's summon my Chocobo and start heading eastward. Let's leave Little Alamigo. We'll pass by the Brass Blades and start making our journey eastward to Karn. Now, Sunken Temple of Karn is another one of these locations that is actually a requirement of you to complete another part of the hunting log for the Grand Company to which you are affiliated with. Just like Halatali was, it serves the same purpose. It serves a similar responsibility in that regard. You just come over to Karn like you would Halatali, fight the necessary monsters, and add to your hunting log with the Grand Company to which you are affiliated. So, heading on over into the east then, I'll have to avoid the Potter Swarms and the Sandstone Golems. I don't think they'll be threatening me, but even if that one does, I can easily just knock him off with not much trouble. So, yeah, it looks like he's gonna have to pick a fight with me, and so I'm gonna have to put him out of his misery. Hey, I wasn't willing to put up a fight with you, but you left me no choice, buddy. You forced my hand, and now you're gonna have to pay for it. So, as a result, I'm going to have to slaughter you with ruthless efficiency, which I have done successfully. Yeah, crumble into oblivion. Boom, he's dead. Alright, so let's speak with Babimu and see what he wants to tell us before we access this place. Welcome to the Sunken Temple of Karn, or what remains of it, at least. Used by ancient Baladians as a place to worship the sun goddess Azuma, much about the temple's history remains shrouded in mystery. While we have sent a research team into the depths, I regret to say that the investigation proceeds at a snail's pace. That is, when it proceeds at all. It would seem that the Balladians have raided the temple with all manner of devious traps and snares to deter temple robbers, no doubt. We have recruited adventurers to assist in disarming the traps, but be forewarned, many who have entered have yet to return. Should you wish to brave the depths, we would welcome your aid. And so, with that, the challenge is now completed, and the Sunken Temple of Karn is now available to us. So, obviously, this is going to be an instanced raid, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a quick time out while waiting for a party to be assembled, and I will rejoin you guys once that party has been assembled, so be back in a moment. Alright, we are ready to go in Karn. So, yeah, I actually took my eyes off for a few moments and was busy distracted doing something else. I almost ran out of time to declare my eligibility for this challenge, but yeah, that would look pretty bad. But we do get the opportunity to go on inside. And so that is exactly what we shall be doing. So, with the night sky in full effect, we come here to a place that was resurfaced only after the calamity, the Sunken Temple of Karn. This really could be considered the Temple of Doom of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, as myself and 3 other online gamers will try our luck at this place. This is certainly going to be very crazy, because there are a couple of enemies here that are really annoying here as far as the bosses are concerned. Plus, there's also a puzzle element to this place as well that you have to also take into consideration, because you can't simply come here and go in guns blazing and do whatever you want. There is some strategy involved, and you will have to be careful and keep that in mind. So as you can see by the icons, the temple bats are the first things that we have to defeat in order to successfully add to our hunting log. If I remember correctly, I have to kill I think it's 5 of them. So yeah, it can be either through me or through other people. It will count in full towards our totals. Yeah, it is 5. And yeah, these things are moving quite a bit here. In fact, this seems to be the bat that everyone's focusing on. So let's take it out first. And might as well just follow along with the crowd here, because we do have 2 party members that are synced to 35, or in this case to 37. Like with Halatali, one of the bosses here is also on the hunting log for Maelstrom. It will change, the enemies will change depending on which Grand Company you are affiliated with. I can tell you that from personal experience, because my first avatar is currently in Twin Adder, and the monsters that had to be defeated in order to add to the hunting log were different. And so is the number of enemies that had to be defeated. Just make sure everyone's with us together before we continue on, because I want to make sure that we're leaving nothing to chance here. Alright, so let's start smacking the temple bats for a while, because of course our focus is going to be on killing them first before we start focusing on the undead, known as the accused. There's also undeads of other varieties as well in this place. Yeah, it probably should not come as much of a surprise in that regard, considering this is a sunken temple, and therefore there would be no shortage of zombies. In fact, we're holding our own against the bats quite well. Might as well chime in on the other one too. Just get the hunting log for the temple bats over and done with right now. Makes sense to do so. So if we just let them get the accused, because yeah, that undead's almost dead. And once they get tin polished off, well, we might actually finish about the same time. Actually, they killed off the accused just before I was able to kill off the temple bat. And with that, I'm able to complete that part of the hunting log for the Maelstrom and get over 600 seals. Alright, so, yeah, now we no longer are required to kill the temple bats, but, of course, always a good idea to help out wherever you can. Because you pretty much have to kill everything that you fight in an instanced raid or a side dungeon like this one. And you may have noticed the text came up that said you obtained the Helm of Might. Yeah, you do have to pick up various items on your way along during your journey in the Sunken Temple of Karn. That is a requisite that you absolutely must have to do. Okay. And when you see Temple B, fight these things off quickly. Kill them off fast, because these guys have a very devastating ability that if you're not paying attention, it can one-shot you. So be very fast on killing off the Temple B. These things, yeah, Final Sting. If you aren't able to kill it off fast enough, it will either severely deplete your HP, or it will kill you off, depending on how high your HP is. Thankfully, we didn't have that problem this time around. Fortunately for us, the bee focused on the tank. And Final Sting, it pretty much offs itself with Final Sting. But if you're familiar with how science works and how bees sting someone, when a bee stings someone in real life, they not only insert the stinger into their targets, into their victim, but also their internal organs are also attached to their stinger. And so when a bee stings someone in real life, then the bee pretty much, it's basically doing kamikaze. It's sacrificing itself to get rid of you. Yeah, and I would have actually never known that if it wasn't, and it wasn't. I found that out on a science, no, not a science show, but on a TV show, but it had nothing to do with science. It was actually watching a late night TV show that Spike used to have called Mancers, and the subject they were talking about was if you get attacked by killer bees, how do you best deal with getting away from them? And they mentioned that when a bee stings you, not only does it leave a stinger in the victim or in the target, but it also leaves its internal organs behind, thus killing the bee. Yeah, it's strange that a show like Mancers that was on about midnight on Thursday evenings or Friday evenings would give me information that I never even knew. Small world, huh? So yeah, bees in real life, when they sting you, it's actually a kamikaze action. They're defending their hive, and they're going to do that by sacrificing themselves. Well, of all the unlikely places to find out information about something. So yeah, we see the Gem of Affluence, and so that's now acquired. So now we're going into our first mini-boss. This one is a required kill on my Maelstrom hunting log. But the Pterodactyl is definitely one of the most annoying mini-bosses you'll have to fight in Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn, because it has an ability that automatically casts the disability Doom on you. And there is no way to actually heal yourself. You have to, well, as far as spells are concerned, from a white mage or a conjurer, there's no way to use any ability to heal yourself from Doom. The only way that you can save yourself from it is to do something else entirely when you're here. I'll explain once we get an opportunity to demonstrate. But first, you want to make it a point to take on the side enemies, the dung wesps, because these things will definitely be a hindrance to you. And can I kill it off in time? I think I did, yeah, because I'm still standing. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Yeah, I had to. Okay, I want a limit break here. Help things along. Oh, Frightful Roar. Okay, yeah, Frightful Roar will... Okay, here's the ability I was talking about. Mortal Ray. When this goes into effect, you have to find a glowing panel. There are 3 of them. You step on that, and that negates the effect of Doom. That is the only thing that saves you. That is the only thing. If you don't save yourself in time, obviously, you're dead. Alright, moving on. Yeah, the Traddle he only starts using it once you get past halfway. So, once you're at halfway, that's when he will start utilizing... okay, I wasn't even aware he used it again. Well, crap. I didn't even see him using it twice. Well, there's the demonstration for you. If you don't save yourself in time from Doom, you die automatically. If you don't find the place that you're looking for in order to heal yourself and protect yourself, that's what happens. Well, there's the demonstration. Okay, there it goes again. Right, this time I see that I am affected by Doom, but... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the panel will keep changing. The panel will keep changing where you have to stand in order to negate the effects of Doom. So, be careful. And watch your screen very carefully. If you don't, you're gonna find yourself in a situation like I was. But yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, but at least I was, at the very least, able to demonstrate just what happens when you are unaware that you have been doomed, or that the Traddle has used the Mortal Ray ability. So, this battle's almost over. But yeah, when fighting this guy, always be aware of when it's using Mortal Ray, and be careful to get to a glowing panel in time. So now, we can move on. Alright, so yeah, I've already rolled for greed on that, so now it's time to continue on and slaughtering more opponents. So it's here in the second part of the Sunken Temple of Karn where we're really going to start to see the puzzle aspect of this place come into play. We'll see why in a moment. We're not fighting the correct enemies to demonstrate this yet, but we will soon. Alright, so let's take care of the other Temple Bee, and whoa, it's not even wasting any time in using the final sting. But yeah, you just saw just how quickly our tank's HP was depleted. That is no joke, that final sting ability. Do not take it lightly, or you could very well die. Yeah, stupid bees, no kidding. So yeah, this is the enemy you are going to concern yourself with as far as the puzzle is concerned in this place. The Avoir du Poids. You have to attack this thing not only to kill it, but you have to make it stand in the correct spot. If you don't, then you cannot advance, and the Avoir du Poids will revive itself. Basically, you want it to land, when it dies, on one of those glowing panels. This is how you have to do it for the entire duration of the time you're here, as far as the puzzle aspect of this challenge is concerned. Right, that door is open. Now you have to lure the other Avoir du Poids to the opposite side. And then once you do that, make sure it is touching the panel. And it is now doing so. And so now, boom. So which door do we want to go first? Because yeah, these guys will open up a lot of doors for you. And it looks like we're all going this direction. Alright, and so here is the last enemy we need on our hunting log list, the Condemned Floating Spirit. This thing will use Malice, which will take away from your TP. It'll penalize you 200 TP if you're standing in range of its attack when it goes off. But you should be fine, in theory. And we have to, I believe it's 6 of these things we have to kill off. Here's Malice again. So before too long... Oh. Our healer not paying attention. Almost lost our tank. But he held out, fortunately. Our healer maybe have the last name Lionheart, but definitely needs to be thinking with not such a vicious nature as far as dealing with the situation we were in. So we want to go back over here to this side because, yeah, here's more undead here and more condemned. Of course, they're on our hunting log list, so we have to kill them. Oh, look out. And keep going as usual. If I remember correctly, these things are on the Twin Adders hunting log as well. And this is for the second level of the hunting log. If you're... I think I've already demonstrated this, but the only way you can rise beyond the ranks of a corporal in the Maelstrom is to complete everything on the first Grand Company hunting log, and also get, obviously, a set number of seals. Once you do that, then you get to move up to the sergeant's ranks, and then you also get the chance to open up a new hunting log. And so we've already seen that demonstrated in previous episodes. In fact, you actually need to do it if you want to advance further beyond those ranks of sergeants in the Grand Company. Because there are 4 levels of sergeants in Grand Company. Now the Karn Facers, they're just like the Avoir de Poix, however, they are not associated with any of the puzzle aspect of this place, which means you can kill them off and without any negative situations. And why is this thing running away? Oh, wow. Yeah, it runs low on HP. Suddenly it turns into a freaking chicken. And I was like, get back here! How dare you run away on me? Man, that was nuts. Alright, it's dead. Alright, let's move on. And that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. I would just... You're about to kill it off, and then suddenly it does something that enemies are not often known to do, which is make a break for it. So, moving on then. Now we have wall crawlers, which are basically like Yarzons that we've seen in the early days of this LP. So we can just, once we kill them off, then we can move on to the next boss. Yeah, so far it's not taking us that long to get through here right now. We're doing quite well, I have to say. And there's another condemned. We will be seeing more of them after the second mini-boss. So, no need to worry, they will still be around, and in greater numbers too. At least I hope so, because yeah, we do need to kill 6, but I'm pretty sure I've seen more than 6 at any given time. I really want that condemned, but will they even allow it? Yep, they want it. You know, they're probably here, most of them, for the same reason I am. To add to the hunting log for the Grand Company. Whichever one it may be, whether it's the Maelstrom, the Twin Adder, or the Immortal Plains. So, we now have half of the required number of condemned killed off. Alright, so the second mini-boss here, the Temple Guardian, this guy is a real pain in the butt because, as you can see, he is not the only thing you have to fight. He also has a Golem Soulstone. And that pretty much, this Soul Stone makes the Temple Guardian's defenses go up way high, so much so that you can hardly inflict damage on him, if at all. So you have to disable the Soul Stone first, and then you can attack the Guardian itself. And the thing is, the Soul Stone will keep respawning, and the unfortunate situation is that once you kill off the Soul Stone for the first time, as you can see, it's a pain in the ass just to attack the Soul Stone. You constantly have to be looking up at the target in order to attack it. You just can't simply look straight on and get it to be taken care of. So now, I'm going to make a point to use my Blood for Blood ability, and then hit the Raver, my Limbic Ray. That'll take him down a bit. So yeah, you'll constantly have to deal with the Soul Stone respawning and the defense of the Temple Guardian going back up. This is something you'll have to keep in mind for the entire duration. So as you can see, already respawned, and here's where it really becomes annoying. You will constantly be defaulted back to the Temple Guardian. As much as you want to attack the Soul Stone, you will be constantly defaulted back to the Guardian, as much as you want to deactivate the Soul Stone. But somehow, if you can figure out a way to make sure that your target is constantly the Soul Stone, then you'll be fine. But yeah, I don't understand what the engine is that Square Enix did that forces you to constantly be targeted back to the golem itself, to the Temple Guardian. That's very weird and bizarre to me, and I don't understand why they would do that to you. But once you have the Soul Stone out of the way, just keep pounding. Just keep pounding, and you'll be fine. In fact, they're doing quite well, I have to say. But as you can see, Soul Stone respawn. So once again, we have to focus our attacks on the Soul Stone. Get back over here. Ah! Yeah, here's where it gets, as I said, this is going to get annoying. And as you can see, it's easy to see why. As you can see, I can't even lock onto the Soul Stone. It constantly defaults to the Guardian. This is where this battle gets really annoying and why I'm not much of a fan of it. And now I've been stunned, because, yeah, your focus is on the Soul Stone. And you want to destroy that, but of course you also have to keep an eye on its special abilities whenever it activates those. Okay, now we should have this guy put away in a matter of moments. Yeah, the mini-bosses in the Sunken Temple of Karn are insanely annoying. You will be scratching your heads and ripping your hair out trying to fight these guys, no doubt. Alright, so on to now the third and final section of the Sunken Temple of Karn. And we meet up with more wall crawlers, and here come more Condemned. Of course, it is very important that we kill them off too while we are here. It's an absolute necessity that we take care of them if we want to increase further on our hunting log, because, yeah, the first time I came through Sunken Temple of Karn with my first avatar, I got killed off right before the Pterodator was dead. And while my allies did try to revive me in time, it was not in time to be credited with a kill for the Pterodator. So as a result, I actually had to come back through Karn again. And this was before I was even aware of how you were able to protect yourself when it's used the Mortal Ray to inflict doom against you. So yeah, I've had more than my fair share of frustration here at Sunken Temple of Karn. This is definitely one of the more ridiculous places, one of the more crazier instance raids that you have to go through in the game. Definitely not a fan of it, but if you want to rise to the ranks of your grand company, you don't have a choice except to come here. This is a mandatory place to come to rise through the ranks of the grand company that you've chosen for yourself. So we have 4 condemned now down, and we only need 2 more. And if you're wondering, are we running to a dead end? Well, the answer is no. Because yeah, if you were looking at my map, it changed. Oh, and hey, the sun's come out. We're already into the new day. So yeah, with day now upon us, we can go ahead and complete the Sunken Temple of Karn. And that means picking a fight with more Deathclaws. Yeah, I've seen enemies like this in other games in the Final Fantasy series, specifically number 12. I saw them most predominantly in Osmond Plain, is where I remember seeing these things. And yeah, they certainly are very freaky as far as their visual is concerned. So let's keep on going here. Deathclaw is now dead in its own right. And hey, we're able to find a treasure chest. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of treasure chests from here on out here in Sunken Temple of Karn. There are a lot of places you can go around to find stuff like that. So now, we are going to focus our attention on the Croc. Be careful when you go and attack it from behind, because its only special ability is when you attack it from behind. The Temple Croc and other palette swap enemies like that we'll be seeing later on are most dangerous when attacked from behind. So be careful when you are taking them on, because as you can see, our magic caster did not notice this and is now dead. Because yeah, that attack from behind, that back attack, that does the most damage. Yeah, Wolf Jaeger finds out firsthand what happens when you attack a Temple Croc from behind. Not fun at all. So yeah, you're going to want to make it a point to also obtain the various blocks that you see. At least I thought we do. Do we not? Oh, you have to place items, okay. Yeah, well, to be honest, I've never actually done that myself, so to be honest, I don't know in what order you're supposed to place them. But it's strictly for the purposes, I think, of getting various other treasures. I think that's the only reason why you would go do that. Yeah, I will definitely say me neither. Yeah, because I also do not know. But if someone does know, then obviously that would help. Well, obviously I guess you would just have to guess, right? Okay, so yeah, here's the treasure chest. So we might as well go ahead and open up the contents. Check to see exactly what is in here. So yeah, it looks like we covered everything here, but you have to make it a point, if you're going to be completing the map in its entirety, to come in here as well. Go where everyone else goes. And so now that we're up here, you know, we see another Temple Croc. So hopefully Wolf Jaeger has learned his lesson. I'm ready. So once that ready check has been completed, we can go ahead. And I don't know why they want to target the Avoir du Poids first when the Temple Croc is a more dangerous threat. Obviously, you have to kill off the Avoir du Poids for the purposes of getting it to land on the podium that you want it to land on. And yeah, once we get it dealt with, now that's gone. Now for the Temple Croc. And as you can see, our tank did not get out of the way fast enough of the attack from behind, and thus took some significant damage. Yeah, Temple Crocs are definitely one of the most dangerous enemies that you will cross in any instance raid. Simply for no other reason than the fact that that attack from behind will one-shot you. Or stands a very good chance of doing so. Alright, so that vault is now open. Might as well go see if there's any contents. And whenever you open a treasure chest, I think I mentioned this before, but it's not always defaulted to you if it's just a regular item. If it is a piece of equipment, though, then obviously you would play either need or greed for it. I'm shocked no one wants to open this chest. I mean, I have no problem doing so. Let's play greed on the Goblin Dagger. Yeah, the stuff you find in here as far as outside of winning sub-battles or mini-bosses is not all that great. You need to take the contents that you find have to be repaired by someone who can repair it. And our mage is not paying attention. I guess it doesn't help that I'm not doing much on my part as well, but we have killed 5 of the 6 condemned now, which means there's only 1 left. Look out. Look out for that attack, and zoom. Zoom attacking. Alright, that's dead, which means now we have killed off 6 of them, which means that part of the Maelstrom hunting log is now done. So that means after we get through that croc, we'd only have 1 set of enemies left to defeat, I believe, and then we have to deal with the Scales of Judgment. So let's eliminate the accused from the scene. Yeah, accused, you are hereby sentenced to death, and where did you go? I lost sight of you for a moment there. Yeah, but yeah, accused, you are hereby sentenced to death, and we will be your executioners. Alright, they're dead. Now for the crocs. Come on, you stupid crocs. Let's dispose of you very efficiently, if at all possible. There goes another back attack. I'm gonna shoot over to the other one here because it's almost dead. Yeah, now let's get this one. Oh, it turns out our Black Mage was able to get up to his another ability, and yeah, it's Arcanist actually, and the Enhanced Warrior class is Summoner. So since I do not know how you tip the scales myself, this is something you're going to have to look up since I personally don't know how you do it. But we can now gain access to a whole bunch of treasures. We will acquire them, but after seeing what we're going to be up against for the final boss here at Sunken Temple of Karn. Yeah, we're going to get a big stone statue coming to life. It comes with a massive Rod of Judgment, and a whole bunch of other goodies that we will see eventually. Oh, those have already been opened. Well, we can take the play greed on the cudgel and on the iron scutum. But yeah, we want to go in here now. So, officially recognized as having mapped the realm, we now have to fight the Adjudicator. So, this is our boss, main boss for the Sunken Temple of Karn. I'm ready to go wherever they are. So this guy is like another puzzle as well. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of puzzle aspects to this place that you have to be careful of. So, we are off and running here in the final part of the Sunken Temple of Karn, and I'm going to make a point to hold off on using the limit break to see if it's possible to get it up enough where it can be used twice over to get the enhanced limit break. Because along the way, you're going to have to deal with Sunjurers. These guys are going to be the reinforcements, and you're going to have to fight them off. So, dispose of them, along with everything else you see. He's not able to get darkness off in time, so we can continue on with our attack against the Adjudicator. Let's use blood for blood to make myself a little stronger. Alright, here's another Sunjurer in play. In fact, there's two of them. Alright, let's deal with you now. And that one's dead. I don't know, actually, if... Yeah. Alright, because now we're going to start seeing Mythal Verge come into play. These things will make it a point to section off the battlefield. Yeah, and my suspicions and concerns were right. You actually do have to move them onto the fight and kill them on the panels. Yeah, that I never knew. Because, yeah, we're just so fixated on fighting them off and dealing with the Mythal Verge that come out onto the field. Because, yeah, these things come out in droves. And you have to stay out of the way of their attacks, because they will section off the field. As I mentioned before, if you don't stop them from doing so, they will section off the fields. So, be careful when they show up. Get back on the Adjudicator, please. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, most of this stuff I would never know myself, primarily because of the fact that I'm so used to running with people who really know what they're doing. I mean, if my range was any indication, I'm still very much a noob in a lot of aspects because I just follow what everyone else does. And really don't think that much to do anything that I wouldn't otherwise do. Okay, so now we see that Wolf Jaeger, he's now actually sectioned off. But that's not a problem for him because of the fact that he's in an area that, because he's a mage, we don't have to worry about that too much. Alright, so now we have a golden opportunity to use the limit break, so let's go ahead and let it out. There we go. Yep, look out. Stay clear. Yeah, because now we're really starting to see a spamming of the Mythal Verge's attacks. So really, if you're not the tank, the best thing you can do at this point is just keep taking out the Mythal Verge. Just keep doing that over and over again. If you see it go into play, deal with it. Get rid of them as fast as you can. Crap, now I'm sectioned off from... But thankfully our tank got there in time. However, the Adjudicator is not... As you can see, he's not prohibited by the wall. He can just pass right through it without restraint. However, we are about to claim victory here. Oh, at the cost of our... Oh, bad time for the death of our tank. Very bad timing. However, if we get it, yes! We prevailed! Oh, tank gets killed off right near the end, but nonetheless, we are victorious. And thus, the Adjudicator crumbles and disappears into a cloud of dust. Victory is ours at Sunken Temple of Karn. Oh, thankfully we saved our man in time. So let's give a well done to everyone. And let's go ahead and commend Layden for holding out to the end. And, well, we can't use this, but we might as well play for it. And we ended up getting it. So, that is going to do it for the Sunken Temple of Karn. And so now, with that, as far as our Grand Company's hunting log is concerned, that means we now have half of it finished. And that means there's 5 more left to go. We'll find those along the way, I'm quite sure, in our journeys, but for now, that is going to bring today's recordings to an end. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will get back on track and return to Eastern Thanalan to continue on with the main story. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.